Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Tiger Softball Complex. We are just about to get underway here. It is senior weekend, and if you notice in that top ticker box above your screen, you will see that Senior Day ceremony will happen after Game 2 today. Your Georgetown College Tigers facing off against the Bears of University of Pikeville. Tigers looking to improve 14-14 on the year, trying to take 2 away from Pikeville today. Pikeville only with 4 wins in the Mid-South Conference so far. Came off of a tough series against the University of the Cumberlands this past weekend when they got swept by them. So it's going to be an interesting matchup for today. Georgetown, as I mentioned, looking to improve to 500 on the year. With our Senior Day ceremony today following Game 2, we have the opportunity to highlight 3 special seniors in the Georgetown College program, 3 of which will be in today's lineup. We have Megan Brandkamp in the circle. She's a senior. Maddie Sims, the catcher, a senior as well. And then Annie Campbell, the designated player for the Tigers, the third and final senior. But let's take a quick look at the starting lineups first for the University of Pikeville. Batting first, playing shortstop, is going to be number 2, Zoe Ingram. Batting second, playing second, is going to be number 1, Sophie Klusner. The designated player for the Bears, number 19, Macy Jones, will be hitting third. In the cleanup spot is going to be the pitcher, number 9, Megan Claypool. Batting fifth, third baseman, number 24, Lily Klusner. Batting sixth, the center fielder, Caitlin Bird. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 12, Aaron Bolin. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 15, Megan Nethercutt. And then in the 9-hole for the Bears is going to be the right fielder, number 6, Alyssa Bowling. Once again, in the circle for Pikeville is going to be number 9, Megan Claypool. The third baseman and the flex player for this game is going to be Haley Osborne. She's number 25. For your Georgetown College Tigers, leading off is going to be the shortstop, Carly Oliver. She's number 10. Batting second is the center fielder, number 2, Kristin Clemish. Batting third, the first baseman, number 12, Lindsey Mitchell. In the cleanup spot for the Tigers is going to be the third baseman, number 00, Kaylyn Barnett. The catcher, Maddie Sims, number 7, she'll be batting fifth. The second baseman, number 13, Cassie Reynolds, will be batting sixth. Batting seventh for the Tigers is going to be the designated player, number 11, Annie Campbell. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 25, Brooke Chick. Batting ninth, the right fielder, Kylie West. And then number 27, Megan Brandkamp, will be in the circle for the Tigers. I'm going to step away for just a moment. When we come back, we'll have the anthem and then the start to game number 1 in the series against the University of Pikeville. You're watching softball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, to the Tiger Softball Complex. We are just about to get underway here. Once again, the Georgetown College Tigers facing off against the Bears of University of Pikeville. My name is Ben Robison, and along with our wonderful Tiger Sports Network crew, we're here to bring you all the sights, sounds, and action from today's matchup. It is a pleasure to have you here on Senior Day weekend. Once again, Senior Day ceremony to take place after Game 2 today. We're still waiting on a decision on whether or not the games tomorrow will be played. We are expecting some weather disruptions this afternoon, so we will get back to you on that. The best way to follow and make sure you are up to date with everything going on with Tiger Athletics is to go ahead and give us a follow on social media. For the anthem, I ran you through the lineups for both teams, but let's take a look specifically at the defense for the Tigers. In left field for Georgetown is going to be Brooke Chick. In center, Kristin Clemish. And in right, Kylie West. Across the diamond, we have Kaylyn Barnett over at third, Carly Oliver at shortstop, Cassie Rannells back at second base, Lindsey Mitchell at first. Maddie Sims will be catching for the Tigers, and in the circle is going to be Megan Brandcamp. Stepping in the box right now for the Bears is going to be Zoe Ingram. She is the shortstop for Pikeville. Laces that one down the third base line and foul. Now down the count, no balls and 2 strikes to Ingram. Ingram hitting 194 on the year. She has 20 hits and 103 at-bats. Fouls another one off into the netting. Brandcamp not wasting any time in the start of this matchup, really going after these Tiger hitters. She was up in the press box earlier before the game. A lot of excitement, a lot of joy around her start today. She's really excited to just be a part of the softball team and being celebrated this weekend. So she's always a lot of fun and joy to have around. Brandcamp off-speed pitch right there, just missing away for ball number 1. Brandcamp coming into this one with a 3.61 ERA. This is her 19th start of the year. She crossed that 100 innings pitched mark on Tuesday against Midway University, and she gets a strikeout right here for out number 1.
Now batting the second baseman, number 1, Klusner.
For Brandcamp, that was her 49th strikeout of the year. Klusner now to step in the box for the Bears. She is the second baseman. Doesn't waste any time. Hits that one foul down that third base line. Sophie Klusner at the plate. She's hitting 270 on the year, 24 hits and 89 at-bats, 10 runs driven in. Hits that ball into left center field. Good track by Kristin Clemish right there to make that play in that left center gap. She did an excellent job tracking that down. Good first step, able to allow her to actually get there and get into that position. Great play by Clemish.
Now batting the designated player, number 19, Jones.
That'll bring up Macy Jones to the plate. She's the designated player for the Bears. Takes that one down for ball 1. Only the second ball Brandcamp has thrown this inning so far. Jones, the best average on the team for the Bears. She's hitting 342, has 13 hits and 38 at-bats. 1 run batted in. Now way ahead in the count now, 3 balls and no strikes. She does have 4 walks on the year already. Brandcamp in the circle has 39 walks given up. Finding a way to work her way back in this one. The 3-1 pitch. That one left up over the plate. Jones in the box, a little bit tardy to that one, hits it down that right field line. Count now full. Brandcamp doing a good job working her way back into the count. Three-two pitch does miss away, so that is ball 4 and the first base runner of the day for UPike.
And now batting the pitcher, number 9, Claypool. Ladies and gentlemen, we remind you, masks are mandatory inside.
That'll bring up the pitcher and the cleanup hitter for the UPike Bears, Megan Claypool. Just takes that pitch on the inside for strike number 1. Claypool hitting .253 on the year, 22 hits and 87 at-bats. 3 doubles, 1 triple, and 4 home runs. Leads the team in home runs for UPike. Takes strike 2 on the inner half. That one awfully close to hitting her, but Claypool from up here looks like she's right near that line, especially when she turns in close pitches. Does swing at strike 3. So that'll do it for UPike here in the top of the first inning. 2 strikeouts for Meg Brandcamp on the mound and a flyout. Pretty efficient work for her, due up for the Tigers in the bottom of the first. 1, 2, 3 hitters for Georgetown. It's going to be Oliver, Clemish, and Mitchell to step into the plate. Once again, folks, want to thank you all for tuning in and joining us. It's a great day here at the Tigers Softball Complex. We do appreciate everybody who always tunes in, a bunch of Tiger fans and whatnot. But I'm going to step away for just a moment. When we come back, Tiger hitters looking to start things off in the bottom of the first. Welcome back, Tiger fans, to the bottom of the first inning. Carly Oliver, the shortstop, to lead it off for Georgetown. Big bat and Carly Oliver. She's hitting .424 on the year. She had her 50th hit against Midway on Tuesday. She has 50 hits and 118 at-bats, 10 doubles, 4 triples, 8 home runs. Leads the team in home runs, got 2 in that game against Midway. Also in that series against Midway on Tuesday, Lindsey Mitchell hit 1 and Maddie Sims. It seems like there's a home run race going on between those three ladies right there as they just keep putting them out of the ballpark. Count is 1-1 to Oliver at the plate. As I mentioned, Oliver, a big bat for Georgetown, but her on-base percentage is .489, so she gets on base nearly half of her at-bats. It's just an incredible number in and of itself, but there's also a handful of these other Tiger hitters, Lindsey Mitchell being one of them, with an on-base percentage of .426, and then Peyton Bazier, who's currently not in the lineup, but with .402. So these Lady Tigers find a way to get on base however they can, but a lot of power in this lineup has helped them out throughout their season so far. Oliver swinging a miss on that outside pitch now. With the count even at 2-2. The pitch does miss down, so it is going to be a full count. Claypool in the circle for the Bears, 54 walks on the year. She does have 107 strikeouts, however. That one hit up and over the netting, another foul ball. So a good leadoff at bat by Carly Oliver. That's exactly what you want your leadoff hitter to do. See as many pitches as you can. That way you can relay as much information to the next hitters as possible. Now, of course, Carly does want to get on in this at bat. 3-2 pitch fouled off and back once again. For Claypool in the circle, 4.66 ERA on the year. This is her 19th game start. She has 106 2/3 innings pitched for the Bears. Oliver found this one off once again. Good at bat by Oliver. That was her 8th pitch of the at bat. In Claypool's 106 2/3 innings pitched, she's given up 87 runs on 127 hits. Misses down. Carly Oliver with a great at bat right there. Works a walk. For Claypool, that was her 55th walk given up on the year. For Oliver, her 17th walk of the season. That'll bring up Kristin Clemish, the center fielder for Georgetown, to the plate. She made that great play in left center field with a good first step. Bunt attempt right here, trying to get down the line. Claypool able to get it and throw her out over at first in time. Oliver will advance. That'll bring up the first baseman for Georgetown, number 12, Lindsey Mitchell, to step in the box. Swings at the first pitch and misses for strike number 1. Mitchell leading the team in average for the Tigers, hitting .429 on the year. She has 45 hits and 105 at-bats, 7 home runs, 7 doubles, 33 runs batted in, with her potential 34th standing on second base in the form of Carly Oliver. 1-1 pitch. Catcher does keep it in front of her, so the count is 1-1. Looks like she may have lost that one for a second. The 1-1 pitch. Bunt attempt by Mitchell. Carly Oliver taking off as the defense was moving to try and field that bunt attempt. It looked like it was a ball at the plate. Carly Oliver now just 60 feet away from home plate. You can see the defense for the Bears, both the second baseman and shortstop, playing in those holes. Lindsey Mitchell popping this one up to shallow right field. Second baseman going to try. Right fielder actually does make the catch. Carly Oliver fake attempting to go home as a good throw in from the right fielder will stop her. So that'll be the second out of the inning for Georgetown.
The third baseman, 00, Barnett.
For Mitchell right there, 2-1 count. You're trying to look for something better that you can drive at least into the deeper part of the field, giving Oliver that chance to score. So shallow fly ball right there. Won't get it done. Left up to Barnett in the box to try and make things happen here in the bottom of the first. Barnett hitting .346 on the year, 37 hits and 107 at-bats, has 10 doubles, tied for the most doubles on the team, 22 runs batted in. Pops this one up and back. Now down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Barnett got the walk-off hit against Midway on Tuesday in game number 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Walk-off single gave way to a 9-1 Tiger win. Both those games against Midway, the Tigers did walk it off. Lindsey Mitchell walked it off in game number 1 in the bottom of the 6th, and then Barnett in game number 2. One-two pitch. Does miss away. Count now with 2 balls and 2 strikes. For Claypool in the circle, that at-bat against Lindsey Mitchell was critical by not giving up that first run. Tigers have been extremely successful this year so far after scoring the first runs in the first handful of innings. Claypool does get the punch out on Barnett, however, so that'll do it for the Tigers in the bottom of the first inning. A walk to start it off, no damage against the Bears. Claypool in the circle doing an excellent job shutting the Tigers down. Due up for the Bears in the top of the second. It's going to be the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Klusner, Bird, and Boland to step in the batter's box. We're going to step away for just a moment. You're watching softball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, to the Tiger Softball Complex. To step in the box for the UPike Bears is going to be the third baseman, Lily Klusner, in the box. Brainkamp still in the circle for Georgetown. She got her 49th and 50th punch out of the year in the top of the first inning. It's an awesome milestone to accomplish. That one popped up into shallow right field. Second baseman Randall's giving chase, will make the play. These Tigers really flashing the leather here at the Tiger Softball Complex. First, in the top of the first, Kristin Clemish to that play in left center, and then Randall's doing a good job going back on that ball that easily could have dropped. In the box now is Kaylyn Bird. She's a center fielder for UPike. Bird hitting .247 on the year, 23 hits and 93 at-bats. 1 double, 1 home run, 6 runs batted in. Good piece of hitting right there. That ball drops into left center gap. Clemish doing a good job getting to it early, stopping her from trying to take second base. But with that base hit, the Bears will get their first hit of the ballgame.
Now batting the catcher, number 12, Boland.
That'll bring up the catcher, number 12, Aaron Bolin, to the plate. Bolin hitting 200 on the year, 9 hits and 45 at-bats. Takes that one for strike number 1. Bird on first base, a little bit of speed. She is 8 for 9 in stolen base attempts on the year, so she is a base running threat. She's tied with Sophie Klusner in the most stolen bases on the team. Both of those girls 8 for 9 on the year. 1-1 pitch popped up. Carly Oliver going back. Clemish coming in from center field. Clemish will come in to make the grab. She's really showing off the glove here early on in game number 1. Clemish, a handful of good plays being made. First ranging to her right in the left center gap, and then coming in on a ball right there. Nice sliding catch by Clemish. Eight hitter and left fielder Megan Nethercutt now in the box. Lines that one straight to Randalls, and that'll do it for the Bears in the top of the second. Quick inning for the UPike Bears. They go 4 up, 3 down, excuse me. 2 flyouts and a line out. Pretty efficient inning for Meg Brandkamp, heavily relying on her defense. But nevertheless, that's part of softball. You're not just a one-woman show out there in the circle. So Brandkamp really utilizing her defense and getting them back in and getting their offense another chance to strike first. Due up for the Tigers in the bottom of the second, the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Sims, Randalls, and Campbell to step in the box. Welcome back, Tiger fans, to the Tiger Softball Complex. Still a 0-0 score here as we go into the bottom of the second. Maddie Sims, the catcher for Georgetown, in the box. Claypool out on the mound for her second inning of work. Sims on the year for Georgetown. She's hitting .283. She has 30 hits and 106 at-bats. 8 doubles, 1 triple, 7 home runs. That one just catching the corner by Claypool right there, counting out 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That one fouled straight back into that inning, counting out 1 ball and 2 strikes. With 108 strikeouts on the year for Megan Claypool, it doesn't surprise me that she's really going to try and challenge and go after these Tiger hitters. There you see it once again. Tiger hitters ready for it. Oliver put together a good at-bat. I think it was a 9-pitch at-bat in her first at-bat. Sims needing to fight off some tough pitches by Claypool here. The 1-2 pitch. That one rolled over and just fouled down that third base line. Off-speed pitch by Claypool. Sims at the plate, just getting enough of the bat on it to hit it foul. It was a good pitcher's pitch, but Sims fully aware that it was a strike. She needed a swing, and sometimes as a hitter, that's what you need to do. You don't need to hit every pitch that's in the zone into fair territory. Sometimes it's just as simple as finding a way to battle it off until you get a pitch that you can drive. So we got a 1-2 count for the fourth time. Off-speed pitch right there, misses down. Sims doing a good job of seeing that one low out of the hands, knew it was going to drop, and did a good job laying off of it. Counting out 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch. That one fouled and out of play down that right field line. Wind not a factor in this game. That flag down that third base line, pretty still. I know in Tuesday's matchup, wind was heavily blowing out to right field. In that game, there was three long balls coming courtesy of Sims being one of them. Mitchell having one, and then Oliver having 2 herself. 2-2 pitch, that one missing away. Quality at bat right here for Maddie Sims. Still needs to find a way to work it to reach base. The 3-2 pitch to Sims. Sims, good job right there. Drives that one into left center field. Looking to go take second base, and she will. Slides in there, but she'll reach base safely on that leadoff double.
Now batting the second baseman, number 13, Reynolds.
So a tough at-bat put together by Sims, and she earns it on the 10th pitch of the at-bat. Fouled off quite a few tough pitches. Saw a pitch up over the plate that she liked, drove that one into the left center gap, and a good hustle double out of the box puts her at second base with nobody out. Randall's now in the box for Georgetown. She's returning. She did not play in the Midway Series on Tuesday. Not quite sure why, but she is here today against UPike. Hits that one. Just fouled that one really in on the hands to Randall's. That pitch missing. Count now 1-1. You see with the bunt attempt right there how it shifts the defense. Oliver in the first inning taking advantage of that and going to third. It's one of the perks of having girls who can lay down bunts. It really forces the defense to move and shift. Reynolds missing through that one, counting out 1 ball and 2 strikes to her. That pitch on the outer half fouled back by Reynolds. It's another 1-2 count for Claypool in the circle. As I mentioned, she's not shy away from attacking these Tiger hitters, but Georgetown doing an excellent job once again, just fouling the tough pitches off and waiting for a pitch that they can hit and do something with. Reynolds knows full well that by the end of her at-bat, she needs to get Sims from second over to third, allowing the girl on deck, Annie Campbell, to step up and drive her in with 1 out. Fouled back once again, so at the plate, another 1-2 count. 1-2 pitch. That one missing away. Catcher trying to frame that one up. Umpire not falling for it. Catcher Bolin trying her best to get her pitcher that call. I can imagine that of the 108 strikeouts that Claypool has, Bolin has definitely played a part in that with the way she tries to receive. That one does miss down. Count now full. Another quality at bat by a Tiger hitter. Randall's about to see her 9th pitch of the at bat. Soft ground ball back to Claypool, the pitcher, and that won't do it to move Sims over. But you can't knock the at bat by Randall's right there. A 9-pitch at bat does not work out in her favor. Annie Campbell, the senior, now in the box for Georgetown. Campbell hitting 154 on the year, 6 hits and 39 at-bats. Generous call on the outer half by the umpire right there, but as I mentioned before, Bolin, the catcher, working extremely hard to get Claypool those pitches on the corners and the ones that are down, the way she's receiving them. For Campbell, she has 5 runs batted in this year, looking for her 6th. The 1-1 pitch. Campbell cuts through that one, fouls that back into the catcher's glove. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. If you're a Tiger hitter, the 1 ball and 2 strikes shouldn't affect you, as you've seen a handful of girls prior really work quality at bat. So Annie Campbell should have a lot of confidence here. Claypool getting ready to deliver the 2-2 pitch. That one fouled off once again. A lot of softballs being lost here. Typically, it seems unusual to have this many foul balls, but they are going out of play. Thankfully, girls in the dugouts on both sides of the dugouts collecting those because there have been a lot of foul balls. Campbell does chase on the outer half, so that'll be out number 2 here in the bottom of the second for Claypool. That's her 109th strikeout of the year. Brooke Chick now in the box for Georgetown. She is the left fielder. She's batting 8th. Takes that pitch low for ball 1. Claypool in a circle, 45 pitches total in the game so far, only threw 1 2/3 innings. About to throw her 27th pitch of the inning, and that's good for a strike. So a lot of pitches for Claypool here early on. Caitlin Mullins and Mattia Ware the next closest Bears pitchers in innings pitched so far for the season. Mullins having pitched 50 2/3 innings, and Ware pitching 59 flat for the Bears. To 1 pitch. That one good right down the middle for strike number 2. Home plate umpire may have miscounted how many strikes there were right there, and that's what this little conversation is going to be about. He tried to ring Chick up on a 2-1 count. He's going to go have a conversation with his partner in the 5-6 hole. So home plate umpire did make a little bit of a mistake, but he's very quick to correct it, having to talk with his partner. So we do have a 2-ball and 2-strike count to Chick at the plate. 2-2 pitch. That one missing away, count now full. Claypool delivers, swung on and missed by Chick. That'll do it for Georgetown in the bottom of the second inning, excuse me. So after Maddie Sims gets that leadoff double in the left center gap, leadoff hustle double in the left center gap, she gets left on base as Reynolds grounds out back to the pitcher, and then back-to-back strikeouts, and Campbell and Chick do it for the Tigers in the bottom of the second. There you see Claypool really dominating when it comes down to it in the first inning, able to shut down the Tiger hitters with a runner at third, and then there you see stranding Sims at second base. Claypool now with 3 strikeouts on the day, 110 on the year. Still in the circle for the Tigers is going to be Brandcamp. Due up for UPike, the 9-1-2 hitters, Bowling, Ingram, and Klusner, Sophie Klusner that is, to step in the plate. Welcome back, Tiger fans, to the Tiger Softball Complex. This one's still tied at 0 apiece between the UPike Bears and the Georgetown College Tigers. Nine-hitter right there. That was Bowling stepping to the plate. Sees that one deep on the outer half and drives that one through the 5-6 hole for a leadoff knock for Bears.
Now batting the shortstop, number 2, Ingram.
Just the second hit of the ball game for UPike. But they do have their leadoff. Hitter on. That was a ball at the plate to Zoe Ingram. She struck out in her first at-bat. She's 0 for 1 on the day. Bunt attempt right here. That one fielded by Barnett. Randall's getting over in just enough time to get Ingram out, but she does her job moving Bowling over from first to second base. Barnett getting to that ball extremely quickly. Randall's is usually on top of it, right on first base. She got to first a little bit late there, but it was still in plenty of time to go ahead and get Ingram out. I'll bring up Sophie Klusner. Klusner, the second baseman for UPike. She's 0 for 1 on the day. Flied out to to Clemish in center field in their first at-bat. Hits this one down that third base line and foul. Just missing that line. For sure would have scored bowling from second base, and if that ball would have dropped. It does not, so the count is 1-1. Klusner with 10 runs batted in on the year. Brandkamp challenging her inside. And Klusner lacing that one foul. The 1-2 pitch off speed misses away. Count now 2-2. That one popped up and out of play. Catcher Sims taking a quick look. Does go out of play. So this time a UPike hitter putting together quality at bat against pitcher. Bowling over at second base. She's 3 for 6 in stolen base attempts this year. And as a right fielder, you can assume that she has a lot of speed. So base hit into the outfield. Tiger defense has to come up throwing. Once again, Chicken left, Clemish in center, and West in right. That ball hit hard enough to Clemish, barely moved to make the catch for the second out of the inning.
Now batting, the designated player, number 19.
So for Klusner, that's back-to-back flyouts to center. Macy Jones, the designated player for UPike, stepping into the box. She walked in her first at-bat. Back pick attempt right here by Sims. Bowling at second, getting back in plenty of time. Jones only 1 RBI on the year for UPike. Brandkamp delivers the 1-1 pitch. That one hit off the knuckles right there. Randall's trying to make a good play, and she does. Lindsey Mitchell over at first, able to stay on the bag to end the top of the third. For UPike, they get that leadoff hitter, but nothing doing for them following that ground out, fly out, and another ground out will do it for UPike in the top of the third. Due up for Georgetown in the bottom of the frame is going to be the 9-1-2 hitters, West, Oliver, and Clemish, to step in the box. Welcome back, folks, to the Tiger Softball Complex. This one's still tied 0-0. West, the 9-hitter for Georgetown, in the box. Tries a bunt attempt there. Pulls back, plenty of time for ball number 1. So UPike fully aware of West bunting. Sophie Klusner at second base, playing well next to the circle to get ready to field that. Slap bunt attempt right here. Line straight to the third baseman for the first out of the inning.
Now batting for the Tigers, the shortstop, number 10, Oliver.
That one softly hit by West. Lily Klusner at third base, easily able to make the basket catch. That'll bring up the leadoff hitter for Georgetown, Carly Oliver, to the plate. No official at-bats for her today. She walked in her first time to the plate. Oliver in her first at-bat, putting together a 9-pitch at-bat before she took that walk. Handful of Tiger hitters so far putting together quality at-bats. Oliver being one of them, but also Sims and Rannells. Good hitters count right here. 2 balls, no strikes to Oliver. That one good on the inner half. Oliver looking back at the umpire, kind of wondering where that one caught. Nevertheless, still a good hitters count. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Oliver swinging, that one going down the right field line. It will end up foul as it had that slice and just kept tailing away from the line. Count now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bowling with a good first step and a lot of speed over there in right field. Almost caught up to that ball. Now she is shading towards that right field line more than normal. A lot of spaces in the gaps for Oliver. Works her way to another full count. There's a lot of space in the outfield in that left center and right center gap for her to find some grass. Oliver not necessarily one to hit it down the line, so not sure the decision on there, but she'll go ahead and take that walk. Another quality at bat by Oliver. She's now 2 for 2 in walks on the day. That'll bring up the center fielder Clemish to the plate. She's sack bunt in her first attempt. Carly Oliver taking off on the first pitch here. Gets there. Will actually go ahead and take third as well on that ball that was shorted by the catcher. Shortstop unable to keep it in front of her as it bounced off her knee/shin into the outfield. Carly Oliver not wasting any time. Just going to go ahead and take third. Ball at the plate. So Clemish stepping in the box with a 1-0 count. The pitch, that one high. Clemish swinging well underneath that one for strike 1. The 1-1 pitch. Bunt attempt right here. That one popped in the air, but there you see Klusner once again making a good grab for the second out of the inning.
Now batting the first baseman, number 12, Mitchell.
For Clemish, you have to find a way to get that ball down. I understand you're also trying to get a hit yourself, but popping that one into the air for that out is just, it's unacceptable at that time. Lindsey Mitchell at the plate, getting that one just down that right field line. I thought it may have clipped the line. Home plate umpire does say that it did end up going foul. We need that New York instant replay on that one. Tigers definitely would have taken that one. Mitchell 0 for 1 on the day. She flied out into shallow right in her first at-bat, so she's been playing with that right field line all day. Takes that pitch high, counting out 1-1. Mitchell, 33 runs batted in on the year. Off-speed pitch right there, just drops in on the inner half for strike number 2. Mitchell now needing to battle. Claypool so far for the Bears has really shut the Tiger hitters down with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. Tigers have been unsuccessful so far. That's 3 times the Tiger offense has had runners in scoring position and a threatening chance to strike first, but they're unable to come up with it. Klusner getting all 3 outs in that inning for the Bears. Due up for UPike in the top of the 4th inning. Going to be the 4, 5, 6 hitters, Claypool, Klusner, and Bird, to step in the box. Brandkamp still trying to hold it down in the circle. Along with the defense for Georgetown, they've been fantastic in the game so far, looking to continue it as we go into the top of the 4th inning. You're watching softball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Claypool stepping in the box now for UPike. Of course, she's the pitcher in the circle for them as well. Has done an excellent job shutting down the Tiger hitters. Pops this one up towards that third base line. Barnett making a catch at the wall for the first out.
Now batting the third baseman, number 24.
So 1 pitch, 1 out for UPike. I can only imagine Klusner stepping in the box right now is going to take this next pitch. Don't want to give Brandkamp an easy inning. Tries for a bunt attempt instead. That one does miss inside for ball 1. It will go ahead and check down at first. First base umpire does in fact confirm that it is a ball. So 1-0 count at the plate. Interesting to note, so far through 3 innings, both teams have had 4 batters up, 4 batters down in every single frame of the ball game so far. For Georgetown, they've gotten their leadoff hitter on twice in the first and second inning. Had runners in scoring position all 3 innings. But those runners left on base. For UPike in the top of the third, left a runner on this one, chopped over to Barnett. Makes a good strong throw across the diamond for the second out of the inning. Barnett really locking it down over at third. But as I was saying, UPike, they got their leadoff runner on in the top of the third. Unable to come around to score, but both teams leaving a runner on in each of these instances. Kaylyn Bird, the center fielder, in the box for UPike. Fouls that one just down the third base line. Count now 1-1. Lily Klusner, the batter before her, made all 3 outs in the bottom of the third. Now Barnett at third base has a chance to do it. But with that ball lifted over to Brookchick in left field, it will not happen. So quick inning this time for UPike. They go 3 up, 3 down. Pair of flyouts and a ground out will do it for them in the top of the 4th. Due up for Georgetown in the bottom of the frame is going to be the 4, 5, 6 hitters, Barnett, Sims, and Reynolds, to step in the box. Claypool still out in the circle for her 4th inning of work for UPike. Tigers looking to strike first and get ahead in this ball game. Once again, this is game 1 of a doubleheader against the University of Pikeville. Senior Day will follow game number 2 today, so don't go anywhere. Once again, I will remind everybody for tuning in game number 2. But until then, we do appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching. If you haven't already, go ahead and give us a follow on social media. There you see our socials in the bottom left-hand corner to stay up to date with everything that your Tigers are doing, including schedule changes, one of which that may happen this weekend, as inclement weather may cause a little bit of shift in this 4-game set. So go ahead and give us a follow on social media to stay up to date with all that information.
Leading off for the Tigers, the 3rd baseman, 00 Barnett.
Barnett in the box for Georgetown. She's 0 for 1 on the day. Struck out in her first at-bat. Comes out swinging in her second at-bat. Barnett, 10 doubles on the year, 2 home runs. Has some pop, drives that one through that 5-6 hole right there for the Tigers' second hit of the ball game.
Now batting, the catcher, number 7, Sims.
That'll bring up the catcher, Maddie Sims, to the plate. She was the other Tiger hitter to get a hit for Georgetown. Both teams now with 2 hits on the day. Tigers once again with their leadoff hitter on base. Sims pops this one up to center field. Bird underneath it to make the catch.
Now batting, the 2nd baseman.
After Sims put together a 10-pitch at-bat in her first one, she swings at that first pitch. Didn't want to waste any time up at the plate. Randall's another Tiger hitter who put together a longer at-bat, 9 pitches. That one resulted in a ground out back to the pitcher Claypool. Reynolds takes that one down for strike 1. Barnett at first base for Georgetown. She's 5 for 5 in stolen base attempts this year. As a team, the Tigers are 54 successful stolen bases in 64 attempts. So they've been running the bases pretty well so far on the year. We contrast that to UPike. They only have 28 stolen bases on the year in 37 attempts. Another pitch left up right there. Back pick attempt. No good. Barnett able to get back in time. Bolin almost got her with a quick snap throw. Of course, pitches up in the zone. A lot easier for catchers to handle and manage. 2-1 pitch. Reynolds hits that one just off the hands right there. Barnett reading it well, getting back to the bag, needing to slide in so as to not get doubled off.
Now batting, the designated player, number 11, Campbell.
I bring up designated player for Georgetown, Annie Campbell, to the plate. She's 0 for 1. She struck out in her first at-bat. She'll take that pitch over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Tigers, once again, they get a leadoff hitter on, but they're putting themselves in a difficult situation, not moving the runner over and not getting another hit. Claypool on the mound, really shutting down this Tiger offense to this point in the game. And Campbell found that one up over the right side. Down on the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. I talk about all the time for any offense, baseball or softball, to be effective, you're going to need to find a way to get hits with 2 strikes and to score runs with 2 outs. Barnett taking off on the pitch. Good catch play by the UPike defense. That'll do it for Georgetown in the bottom of the 4th inning. I don't blame Barnett for trying to go ahead and swipe the bag there, get yourself into scoring position, but good catch play once again by UPike. That was Bolin to Ingram to get that final out of the inning. Claypool now getting picked up by her defense. As we go to the top of the 5th inning, Bolin, Nethercutt, and Bowling, the 7, 8, 9 hitters to step to the plate. Brandcamp back out for her 5th inning of work. We're going to step away for just a moment, folks. We do appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching softball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch.
Here's how this will work. You'll watch this commercial, then look up Georgetown College. No, not that one. A Christian college in Kentucky. You'll be impressed with the school and your scholarship. You'll watch GC win yet another national championship with lifelong friends. You'll attend Oxford University. You'll take a class with that professor who blows your mind. You'll find your major and your career. You'll get internships and graduate, and your Georgetown degree will get you that first job or into grad school. You'll remember this as the moment that shaped your life. You're welcome. Think different. Think GC. Apply now at georgetowncollege.edu.
Welcome back, folks, to the Tigers softball complex. This one's still tied at 0 apiece. The catcher, Bolin, at the plate. She pops this one to the catcher, Maddie Sims. Difficult play right there for Maddie Sims to make. She is able to make the catch nevertheless. It's always tough when a catcher has to get pulled out of that position. It's easier for the first baseman in Mitchell or even the pitcher, Brandcamp, to come in and try and make that play. As the ball goes up in the air, it's typically tailing away from the catcher and back into the field. So that was a great play by Sims, the catcher for Georgetown. That one fouled right towards that on-deck circle of UPike. Nethercutt, the left fielder, in the box. Brandcamp missing that one away. Count now at 1-1. For Nethercutt, she's 0 for 1 on the day. She lined out to Randalls at second base in her first at-bat. It's a hard line out to Randalls. It was an atom ball right at her. So through 4 1/3 innings of work so far, Brandcamp about to throw her 51st pitch. That one fouled back. Count remains the same, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the on-deck circle for UPike is going to be Bowling, the right fielder. She got the second hit of the game for UPike. Once again, both teams at 2 hits apiece so far through 4. Good strikeout right there by Brandcamp. For Brandcamp, that's her 3rd strikeout of the day, 51st on the year. As I mentioned, Bowling now in the box for UPike. She is the 9-hole hitter for the Bears. She laced one through the 5-6 hole in her first at-bat, chops that one back to Brandcamp. Brandcamp will go ahead, make the easy throw over to first for the final out of the inning. So the UPike Bears, they go 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 5th. Due up for your Tigers is going to be the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Campbell, Chick, and West. looking to start things off for Georgetown. Welcome back, folks, to the Tiger Softball Complex. Annie Campbell in the box, now down no balls and 2 strikes against Claypool, still out on the mound for her 5th inning of work for the Bears. Campbell was still in the box in the bottom of the 4th inning, but that stolen base attempt by Barnett, as Barnett got thrown out, Campbell, will step in the box once again. Three strikeouts so far on the day for Claypool, one of those being Campbell. That one missing up and away. Once again, the catcher Bolin trying to frame that one down. The 2-2 pitch. That one missing inside for ball 3. And Campbell doing a good job taking that pitch right there. It was a closer pitch, but did dive back inside. Campbell with 11 walks on the year. Has the 2nd most on the team for that. Instead, she'll go ahead and line that one into center field for the Tigers' 3rd hit of the ball game, her 1st. It's a great piece of hitting right there by Annie Campbell. A pitch on the inner half. She goes inside out, drives that one up the middle through the pitcher and past Klusner over at second base. Maddie Williams will be the runner. She's number 3. She's in to run for Campbell. The left fielder, Brooke Chick, now getting ready to step in the box. A pitch missing up. Williams threatening to run over at first base. Once again, Bolin, though, behind the plate. She already does have a runner thrown out on the game so far. Chick 0 for 1 on the day, striking out in her first at-bat. Bunt attempt right here. Once again, that one popped up. Bolin can make the easy catch and force Williams to return back to first.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 4, West.
It's the 2nd time so far today, Tiger hitters trying to lay down a bunt, get underneath it, and they pop it up to a fielder. First one happened 2 innings ago with Clemish trying to get that one down. That one going to Klusner. Maddie Williams getting a little bit off over at first. She will return. That ball was down in the zone. Kylie West, the right fielder for Georgetown, in the batter's box now. She lined out to Klusner over at third in her first at bat. Bunt attempt right there. That one I thought that one was a foul ball right there. It looked like it was just a called strike on the outer half. Catcher Bolin dropped it. Maddie Williams going to go ahead and take advantage of that mistake and head over to second. So Tigers now have a runner at second base in the form of Williams. West in the box. Bunt attempt by West right there. Klusner over at third going to go ahead and let it go foul. That's her best option right there. Heads up softball. Knowing that even if no matter how hard she tried, she would not have gotten West out at first base. West with a lot of speed, but also being a left-handed hitter can get down that line fairly quickly. Sophie Klusner over at second base, still getting ready for that bunt attempt. Claypool misses that one away. Count now even 2-2. So for UPike, there is a pair of sisters on the field. Sophie Klusner at second base, Lily Klusner at third. The 2-2 pitch. That one missing way up. Bolin doing a good job snagging that one out of the air, stopping that from getting to the back of the backstop. We got a full count at the plate, one out here in the bottom of the fifth. West calling time. On deck for Georgetown is going to be the leadoff hitter, Carly Oliver. West swings through and misses that one for the second out of the inning. Another punch out for Claypool. That's her fourth of the day. As I mentioned, Oliver now in the box for Georgetown here with two outs in the bottom of the fifth. Oliver, no official at-bats on the day so far. She's walked in both of her trips to the plate. Once again, she is a dangerous hitter for Georgetown. She's hitting .424 on the year, 10 doubles, 4 triples, 8 home runs, 39 runs batted in. Has her 40th over there in the form of Maddie Williams at second base. Another ball count now 2-0. Pitch. That one just catching that outside corner. Bolin doing a good job bringing that one back in the zone. Count now at 2-1. Still a good hitter's count for Oliver at the plate. Outfielders in normal depth. Oliver with well enough pop to hit it off the fence, if not over the fence. 2-1 inside. Oliver diving down to try and get that one. Now brings the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. As you can see, we got a good crowd in the outfield over in deep left center field, more towards center. We have a lot of our football team helping to go ahead and support the softball team. Another foul ball by Oliver. Last Saturday, our football team made it to the NAI football championship series. They lost to number 5 Concordia University. But they put together a good season. They were 6-1 in the Mid-South Conference. Carly Oliver chopping that one over to Claypool. And Claypool delivering it to first for the final out of the inning. So that'll do it for the Tigers in the bottom of the fifth. No runs, 1 hit, no errors in the frame as we go into the top of the sixth. due up for the Bears is going to be the 1, 2, 3 hitters, Ingram, Klusner, and Jones, to step in the box. Once again, folks, want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching. This is game one of a doubleheader against the University of Pikeville. Senior day to follow after game two. Welcome back, folks, to the Tiger Softball Complex. This one's still tied 0-0. Ingram, the shortstop for the Bears, in the batter's box. "56 total pitches on the day for Brandcamp. She's been extremely efficient in the circle for Georgetown. Just 3 strikeouts on the day, only 1 walk given up. But the defense has really done an excellent job for her in this one, especially early on in the game, flashing some leather. But also these UPike hitters really helping her out. They're not wasting any time when they're in the batter's box. They're swinging often, and they're swinging early, which has allowed to a lot of early innings for them. Once again, Ingram at the plate for UPike. She's 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a ground out over to third. That one fouled back into the netting. As you can see on your screen, overcast starting to come over, clouds starting to be more of an issue. That ball grounded over to Barnett. Barnett, lockdown defense over at third. Just collects that ball, makes a good, easy throw right to the chest to the first baseman. She's been locked down all season from what we've seen here at the Tiger Softball Complex. Sophie Klusner now getting ready in the box. She's 0 for 2 on the day, pair of flyouts to center field. Takes that pitch on the inner half for strike 1. That pitch just missing the outside corner. May have missed up, as I thought that one was good. Good from left to right, but up in the press box, sometimes it is difficult to see that up and down action on the ball. Home plate umpire, of course, has the best view in the ballpark. Brandcamp missing that one inside, counting out 2-1. Another close call at the plate. Two-one count to Sophie Klusner. Once again, she's the second baseman for UPike. Her sister over at third, Lily. Brandcamp missing that one out. Brandcamp really working in and out against Klusner at the plate. If I'm not mistaken, Klusner in both of her first and second at-bats was swinging often, swinging early, just like a lot of these UPike hitters. That one missing up. That'll be Brandcamp's second walk administered on the day. Sim's going to go out and have a little conversation with Brandcamp. Looks like these UPike hitters may be starting to understand that they're their extra aggressive approach at the plate may not have been the best early on. So it looks like they have been taking a handful more pitches, really trying to work at bats in the later part of this ball game. That one chopped to Barnett over at third base will pop out of her glove, and Jones will reach base safely at first. So right after mentioning the lockdown defense of Barnett over at third, broadcaster's curse, of course, that one hit sharply over to her, hard to handle, but it did pop out of the glove, and UPike now have 2 runners on base. This is the first time that any team has had 2 runners on base at any given time in this game. Megan Claypool, the pitcher, in the box. Claypool 0 for 2 on the day, struck out in her first at-bat. Fly out to Barnett at third in her second at-bat. Home plate umpire not calling that outside pitch anymore once again. It may ball may be left up. Hard to tell. That one hit into the netting on the right side, and we'll go back to Brandcamp. So now a 2-1 count. At second base is Sophie Klusner. She's 8 for 9 in stolen base attempts, and you see her really working the bag on her secondary. Sims going to try and backpick. Randall's able to get that one and stop that one from going to the outfield. Claypool found that one off, keeping her at bat alive down that third base line. So count remains the same, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But Klusner over at second base, 8 for 9 in stolen bases. Macy Jones had first, 2 for 2. So some speed on the bases, but Klusner over at second really causing some trouble. Maddie Sims, there you see once again, really worried about a stolen base attempt. Of course, Klusner at second will be the leading run in the game. But Claypool at the plate, working a great at-bat so far. Hits this one to left field. Brooke Chick on to make the catch. She will make the catch. Runners needing to go back, so that'll be good for the second out of the inning. Once again, Brandcamp heavily relying on her defense, as she should, especially in a close matchup like this. So that'll bring up Lily Klusner, the third baseman for UPike. 0 for 2 on the day. She flied out to Randalls at second base and then grounded out to Barnett over at third. Another line out to Randalls right there. Randalls catching it in the air. And good defense has stopped the drive of UPike in that one. A walk and an error looked like it was going to cause some trouble, but a pair of lineouts will do it for UPike. Due up for Georgetown, the 2-3-4 hitters, the heart of the lineup, Clemish, Mitchell, and Barnett to step to the plate in the bottom of the 6th inning. Once again, still trying to find a way to score first, strike first, and just take the lead in this ball game as we're starting to approach the later half of this game. Quick score update for baseball as our Georgetown College baseball team headed to the University of Pikeville this past weekend. They played yesterday and beat UPike by a score of 7-3. And then they also won Game 1 today, 8-1 against the University of Pikeville. And currently in Game 2 of the doubleheader, Game 3 of the series, they're up 4-0 in the 4th inning. So when we return, Kristin Clemish to step in the box. Once again, you're watching softball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, to the Tiger Softball Complex. The two-hole hitter for Georgetown, Kristin Clemish, to step in the box and lead things off for Georgetown. She's 0 for 1 on the day. She had a sac bunt in her first at-bat, moved Carly Oliver over from first to second base, but then she lined out over to Klusner at third for her second at-bat. So she is officially 0 for 1 on the day. Looking to get things here started in the bottom of the sixth. Two pitches, two strikes, both swung on by Clemish. Clemish hitting that one sharply back to Claypool. Good reactions by her. She'll gather it and throw it over to first for the first out of the inning.
Now batting the first baseman, number 12, Mitchell.
It's always scary as a pitcher to receive those comebackers. Claypool has had a handful of them back at her in this matchup so far. 3, including that one right there. Hence why these pitchers are wearing these masks. Ball's coming off the bat fairly quickly. Mitchell at the plate, found that one. Back in the netting. Down the count now, no balls and 1 strike. She's 0 for 2 on the day. Fly out to right and ground ball over to Klusner at third. That one missing, down and in. Count now even 1-1. With that last pitch right there, actually with that one right there, that makes 101 total pitches for Claypool in this matchup so far through 5 1/3 innings pitched. Can't quite see whether or not they do have somebody else warming up down in the bullpen, but Claypool, with how many innings she's pitched so far, I can't imagine her coach taking her out in this one. Got a 2-2 count to Mitchell. As you can see with her sweater on, it is starting to get a little bit chilly here at the Tiger Softball Complex, as those clouds covering up the sun can make it extremely cold here. Wind slightly picking up just a little bit, but still a nicer day than it was yesterday, as it got down to the low 30s overnight. So, especially being in mid to late April, it's kind of strange to see, but that's what you get sometimes when you're out in Kentucky. Just a little bit of some random weather or some random snowstorms. Woke up Wednesday morning with snow on the ground, a little strange being in mid-April. Once again, Lindsey Mitchell, sharp comebacker to Claypool. And those reactions by Claypool have helped her out so far in this one. That's the 4th comebacker. That's her 4th comebacker of the game, and that's the 3rd in a row, 2 in this inning, and then Oliver to end the bottom of the 5th. A scary sight as a pitcher, but Claypool in the circle definitely doing a good job for her team. Barnett now in the box for Georgetown. She's 1 for 2 on the day, struck out in her first at bat. Hard hit ball to left and her second. That one over the plate but missing down. Barnett now way ahead, 2 balls and no strike. And at this point in the ball game with 2 outs, you wouldn't mind Barnett just trying to look for the long ball just to get ahead and have Brandcamp go out in the 7th and shut it down. There you see it right there. Barnett putting that one deep over the center field fence, and there it is, long ball. Barnett for the Tigers. There you see it right there, folks. Third home run of the year for Kaylyn Barnett, but in a big spot here against UPike as we go into these later innings. Great piece of hitting by her. 2-0 count. Saw something up over the plate. Hits it hard over deep center field. It's exactly what Georgetown needed here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Maddie Sims, the catcher, now to the plate. Barnett with that home run. She makes up 2 of the 4 total hits that the Tigers have in this matchup so far. Sims, the other one, with her leadoff double to start the 2nd inning. She was stranded through the remainder of that inning, but those 2 hitters make up 3 of the 4 Tiger hits. Maddie Sims with a 2-0 count has a chance to do something that Barnett did, drive a pitch over the fence. Maddie Sims popping this one down that left field line. It is a high moonshot right there. Left fielder coming in to try and make the catch, and she will drop it. Home plate umpire giving that foul signal. Tough play. Tough play by the left fielder. That was Megan Nethercutt trying to make that play. She had a hard time tracking that. First she went back to the warning track, then came across back into the grass, had to try and dive to make the play. Unable to do so as the wind is picking up here at the Tiger Softball Complex. Wind blowing from left to right. That ball missing way down out in front of the plate. Count now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. What's the count? Correction, is a 3-1 count. Coach Thornton just having a conversation with the home plate umpire just to make sure that it was all good. Maddie Sims with the 5-pitch walk.
Baseman, number 13, Reynolds.
So Tigers with 2 outs here on the bottom of the 6th, starting to string things together. First that home run by Barnett and Maddie Sims with the walk. Reynolds, the second baseman, has made a handful of great defensive plays today in game number 1. She's 0 for 2 in the batter's box with a ground out back to the pitcher and then a line out to the second baseman. As we talked about, Claypool still in the circle for the Bears. Ooh, that one going up and in on Reynolds. That looks like it hit her in that right hand. She'll go ahead and trot down to first base, and that'll go ahead and move the runners up 1.
Now batting, the designated player, number 11, Campbell.
So Claypool in the circle. Looks like she may have been shaken up a little bit after that home run. That home run by Barnett as she walks Maddie Sims on 5 pitches and hits Reynolds. Into her place.
First, number 15, Madison Parido.
In to replace Reynolds over at first base is going to be number 15, Madison Parido.
Just the re-enter from a long time ago.
Annie Campbell officially re-entering in for place of Maddie Williams. Williams, of course, taking her place on the base pass, and then Campbell checking back into the ball game here. And one by Claypool, missing down and in. Campbell 1 for 2 on the day, struck out in her first at bat. Then a hard hit ball up the middle on her second. Takes that pitch over the inner half for strike one. The 1-1 pitch. Claypool delivers. That one good. That one had a little bit of velo on it. Count now 1-2. Arguably one of the better pitches that I've seen from Claypool so far today. The 1-2 pitch. That one missing away. Campbell not giving chase. Well, it looked like she was out over her toe. She did see it deep and was able to hold off. Once again, over at second base is the catcher, Maddie Sims. At first base, pinch runner, number 15, Madison Perillo. Campbell at the plate pops this one up to deep center field. The center fielder, Bird, underneath it to make the catch for the third out of the inning. So that'll do it for the Tigers in the bottom of the sixth. They do cause a little bit of trouble, but Kaylyn Barnett with 2 outs, 2-0 count, drives that one over the deep center field fence to give the Tigers a 1-0 lead against the Bears of University of Pikeville. Going to step away for just a moment. Due up for the Bears is going to be the 6, 7, 8 hitters, Bird, Bolin, and Nethercutt, to step in the box looking to tie this one up to keep their day alive. We're going to be back here shortly, folks. Once again, you're watching softball here on the Tiger Sports Network on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, to the Tigers Softball Complex. Georgetown up in this one 1-0 against the Bears of the University of Pikeville. At the plate right now is the center fielder, Caitlin Bird. She fouls that one down the third base line. Barnett gathering it in foul territory. So the count is 0-1. With that pitch missing away, it is now 1-1. Bird on the day so far, she's one of the 2 hits for the Bears. That one hit into shallow left field, make that 2 hits for her on the day. So she's 2 for 2 on the day, getting 2 of the 3 hits for the Bears.
And now pitch hitting number 5.
Now for the second time
Skylar Stumbo.
today, the Bears get their leadoff hitter on. We do have a pinch hitter at the plate. Now in for the catcher, Aaron Bolin, is going to be number 5, Macy James. Bird takes off to second base. She does reach. She does reach safely. Ball on the pitch. Pardon me, that is a strike. It was a strike on the pitch. So the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Another bunt attempt right there by James. It does go foul, so it is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brandcamp needing to get a big punch out right here. Can't allow that runner to move over. Once again, that runner is Bird for UPike. Slap hit and foul. Bird 8 for 9 in stolen base attempts, make that 9 for 10 with that last one. So she does have some speed on the base pass. 1-2 pitch, that one chop foul. Looks like it does hit Maddie Sims, and it probably hit her in the top of the thigh with the way she is leaning over for that one, because if it got her in the shin, definitely would have been enough protection. There you see one of our trainers, Jake, going to go ahead and take a look at her. She should be okay, maybe a little bit shaken up, but as long as it didn't hit her catching hand, she should be all right. Home plate umpire going to give her a little bit of time. He's going to wipe down the plate. Once again, not really sure where that hit Sims, but you never like to get hit. You never like to get hit as a catcher, and that's typically on bunt attempts is when catchers get hit. That one happened to be on a swinging attempt right there. Home plate umpire once again giving Sims more time as he goes over to the home dugout to gather some softballs for himself. Talked about it a handful of times. The relationship that you build between a catcher and an umpire really can help or hurt you. And so as a catcher, it's extremely important to build good rapport. As in situations like that, you do want the umpire to give you as much time as you need. And in the same way, if they get hit, you'll give them as much time as they need. But we do have a 2-2 count. Brandcamp missing that one way outside. Count now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Once again, Macy James, the pinch hitter at the plate. That one slapped to Brandcamp over at first. James trying to get out of the box. First base umpire in that 5-6 hole will call her out. Tough spot for her right there. UPike dugout. Not too happy about that one, but she is called out. That will advance Bird from second over to third. So now just 60 feet away, UPike Bears have the tying run.
Now batting number 3, Carr.
Haley Carr now pinch hitting for the left fielder, Megan Nethercutt. Carr is number 3. She takes that one for strike number 1. Swings on and misses that one for strike number 2. Brandcamp taking advantage. Going to go after these pinch hitters. Carr hitting 125 on the year, 1 hit and 8 at-bats. 4 strikeouts. Now missing down. And in count now 1-2. Big spot right here for Brandcamp. Outfielders playing normal depth. Can't sacrifice double over their head. They'll give up the run. Brandcamp does get the strikeout on Carr, however. So now there's 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. So Pikeville down to their final out. Bowling now in the box for UPike. She's 1 for 2 on the day. Got a hit in her first at bat to start it off for UPike. Grounded out to Brandcamp in her second at bat. Swings and fouls that one down the third base line for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch. That one popped up. Clemish coming in on it to try and make the catch. That won't. It will drop. And UPike ties this one up here in the top of the 7th.
Now batting the shortstop, number 2, Ingram.
UPike now with 4 hits total on the day. Bowling having 2 of those hits has kept UPike in the game. Leadoff hitter Ingram, the shortstop, now in the box again. Brandcamp missing that one down. Count now 1-0. Ingram 0 for 3 on the day. Strikeout and a pair of groundouts over to third. Hits this one high and deep down that left field line. It will go out of play. Chick in left trying to give chase. But it does go foul. Count 1-1. Bowling at first, 3 for 6 in stolen base attempts. She will go here. That one down in the dirt, so she'll easily take second base. Looking to see if she can try and get third. Maddie Sims struggling to try and pick up the softball. Aggressive base running. Sims taking a beating here in the top of the 7th. First that foul ball, what looked like off the inner thigh. Now another one down right here. Not quite sure where this one hit her. But still, the Tigers looking for one more out to bring themselves up to bat on offense. That one missing down and in. Count now 3-1 to Ingram at the plate. That one down and in once again. Sims making sure to check and stop Bowling over at second base. But now UPike has runners at first and second base, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Quick team defense meeting. Make sure that they get everything figured out and squared away. Force out at 3 of the 4 bases, so any play hit into the hole, Tigers do have an easier chance of go ahead and just tossing over to the nearest base to get the out. Two-hole hitter for the Bears, Sophie Klusner in the box. She's 0 for 2 on the day, pair of flyouts and a walk. Lines this one and foul down that left field line. Count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Brandcamp in the circle, 97 total pitches so far in the game, 61 strikes. Needs to get out of This one, with only 1 run given up, this one popped up to Maddie Sims. She should be able to make this catch, and she does for the 3rd and final out of the inning. So that'll do it for the Bears in the top of the 7th, but not before they score a run. This game now tied up 1-1 as we go into the bottom of the 7th inning. Georgetown looking to walk this one off for the 3rd time in a row.
We head to the bottom of the 7th, 1-1. Due up for the Tigers. Chick
Due up
West.
for Georgetown to get things started in the bottom of the 7th is going to be the 8-9-1 hitters, Chick, West, and Oliver, to step in the box. Claypool still in the circle for the Bears. We're going to return here shortly, folks. Once again, you're watching softball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, to the Tiger Softball Complex. So after Georgetown goes up 1-0 in the bottom of the 6th with that long bomb by Kaylyn Barnett, UPike coming back in the top of the 7th to scratch off 1 run off of a pair of hits. Couple changes out on the field. Over in left now is going to be number 3, Haley Carr. Now in the box, pinch hitting for Brooke Chick is going to be number 24, Ella Forish. Forish will go ahead and take that one down for ball number 1. The 1-0 pitch. Missing down once again, count now 2-0. Forish on the year for Georgetown. She's hitting 267, 8 hits and 30 at-bats, 2 RBIs, on base percentage of .389. Another pitch missing down, count now 3-0. Forish does have 5 walks on the year in her 30 at-bats. That one good over the plate, count now 3-1. So Claypool in the circle, 124 pitches, 71 of those being strikes for the Bears. So she's had her work cut out for her today. These Tiger hitters putting together quality at-bats. That one missing must have missed just up. It was good left to right, but nevertheless the Tigers will take it, and they get their leadoff hitter on once again.
Chick back in to run it first.
Back in a run for Forish is going to be Brooke Chick, taking back her original position. Kylie West at the plate. She's number 4 in the 9 hole for Georgetown. Forish going to go ahead and take that easy walk. Once again, Tigers have their leadoff hitter on. West at the plate, 0 for 2 on the day, lined out to third in her first at-bat. Struck out in her second at-bat. That one missing down and in. Bowling the catcher. Looking for a back pick attempt. The 1-0 pitch. That one just catching enough of the corner to even the count back up 1-1. Bowling the catcher looked like she didn't think that one was going to be called a strike. She looked like she popped up out of her squat as that ball was approaching, and typically if a catcher does that, they themselves think that it's not a strike, and they're just going to go ahead and feed the ball back to their pitcher. So interesting right there. West once again pops this one up. It does drop foul. But once again, in West's first at bat, she did the same. She kind of got underneath the softball, popped it up over to Klusner at third. And again, she did the same here. She really needs to work on top of the softball, getting it down towards the ground, able to get that runner over. That ball missing way up right there. Bolin, once again, actively looking for a runner she can throw out. Count now 2-2. Two-two pitch. That one missing up. Count now full. That pitch just catching the outside corner for strike number 3, getting West down for the first out of the inning. Bowling trying to backpick Chick over at first base. Good stop by the first baseman, Haley Osborne. She is the first baseman and the flex player for UPike, so we haven't got quite a chance to talk about her too much in the ball game. But that'll bring up the leadoff hitter for Georgetown, Carly Oliver, to the plate. Oliver 0 for 1 on the day. She had a pair of walks to start off the day in her first 2 at-bats, and then she grounded back to Claypool in her third. She's more than capable of ending this one with one swing of the bat. That one popped up right center field right there. Both fielders giving chase. That one looks like it will drop at the track. It does not go over the fence. Brooke Chick on her horse right now, rounding second, going to third. Tigers now have runners at second and third base with one out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Now batting for the Tigers, the center fielder, number 2, Clemish.
Clemish now in the box for Georgetown here with runners at second and third. With one out, she'll take that one on the outer half for strike 1. Defense playing really in as they need to protect that run just 60 feet away over at third. So again, at third is going to be Brooke Chick. At second base, Carly Oliver. Oliver's run at second doesn't quite matter. It is up to Chick at third to touch base and reach safely. A little bit of dirt in the catcher Boland's eyes. Home plate umpire calling time. Count is 1-1. Clemish 0 for 2 on the day. Chopper over to the second baseman right there. Brooke Chick trying to cause a little bit of havoc on the base pass. But nothing doing for the Tigers. Klusner has been in that spot all day over at second base with a runner at third, and even with just the slap hitters up for the Tigers. But now with 2 outs once again, Tigers looking to walk it off here. At the plate is Lindsey Mitchell. Mitchell, of course, got the walk-off single in Game 1 against Midway University on Tuesday. Tigers won that one by a score of 10-2. This ball game being a little bit different, and that a run rule is not in place. Lindsey Mitchell popping this one up down that first base line. It looks like it will go well out of play. Osborne at first giving chase. The count is 1-1. Pitch missing up right there. Count now 2-1. Good hitters count for Mitchell at the plate. Mitchell 0 for 3 on the day. Fly out to shallow right and a pair of ground balls. Two 1 pitch. That one missing down. Count now 3-1. If Mitchell walks here, it may not be the worst situation for UPike, right? Because now they have a force out at every base. But that being said, they do have the difficult task of facing Kaylyn Barnett, who's already 2 for 3 on the day with the single and the home run that gave the Tigers the lead in the 6th. Mitchell pops this one up. Shortstop will call it and make the catch. So that'll do it for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So trouble was a brewing
No runs on one hit, no errors.
with that one-out double by Oliver, bringing Chick over to third. But UPike once again doing a good job shutting down the Tigers. This one's still tied up at 1-1. Due up for the University of Pikeville is going to be the 3, 4, 5 hitters. That's Jones, Claypool, and Klusner to the plate. We're going to step away for just a moment, folks, but we do appreciate you watching and tuning in to softball here on the Tiger Sports Network on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, to the Tiger Softball Complex. A little bit of score update for the other sports going on today. Baseball currently in the 7th inning against the University of Pikeville. They're up 5-0. If they win that one, they will have swept the series against Pikeville. Back here at the plate, that was number 19 hitting that one to the right fielder, West. She swung on the first pitch right there. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Brandcamp. Once again, that was Macy Jones, the designated player, flying that one out to right field. The pitcher, Megan Claypool, getting ready to step in the box. She's 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout, fly out, and a line out. Once again, Brandcamp still in the circle for the Tigers, really keeping her team in this one. Offense for Georgetown, kind of struggling a little bit. But Claypool in the circle for UPike has done an excellent job really shutting down the Tiger hitters when they're in scoring position. I mean, I think 4 or 5 innings Georgetown has had runners in scoring position and has just left them on base. The only run coming from Georgetown was off the bat of Kaylyn Barnett in the bottom of the 6th for that 2-out home run. The 2-1 pitch to Claypool. High pitch, that one popped up to Rannells over at second base. She'll make the catch for the 2nd out. 2 quick outs
Now batting the third baseman, number 24.
for Georgetown. Brandcamp looking for a 3rd out right here. Lily Klusner, the third baseman, to step in the box. That one good on the inner half for strike 1. Klusner 0 for 3 on the day, fly out, ground out, and a line out. She's kind of done everything except for strikeout in terms of getting out in a game. Brandcamp looking to change that. We'll say Klusner has played a lot of lockdown defense over at third base. She's been a vital part of the defense for UPike. Brandcamp does a good job catching the corner right there. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. 106 total pitches for Brandcamp in the circle. Make that one 107 right there on that pitch that missed down in the dirt. So of the 107 pitches, 67 of them being strikes. She started off the game extremely well. These UPike hitters being aggressive towards the softball had made her time a little bit easier, but now being a little bit more patient at the plate, they've done a better job of working at bats and have found success in doing so, especially in the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings. Count now full. Brandcamp misses that one down and in. That'll be her 3rd walk given up on the day, and the UPike Bears will take it here with 2 outs in the top of the 8th.
Now batting the center fielder, number 22, Bird.
Bird, the center fielder, now in the box. Doesn't waste any time, swings at that first pitch. That one well over the left fielder's head. Klusner coming around from second. She will end up sliding in to score. UPike Bears now take the lead. That was Kaylyn Bird driving that one deep to left field. Brooke Chick over and left didn't really have a chance as that ball was hit extremely hard. And with 2 outs, Klusner on the move. She didn't have to stop as soon as that ball was going, and she just kept on going from second to third. Head coach waved her all the way home, and now the Bears are leading this one 2-1. Catcher Bolin now at the plate, drives that one to deep left center field right there. Chick unable to make the catch as that ball does get down. And Bolin, the catcher, will go ahead and slide in. UPike now goes up 3-1. So 2 quick outs, a walk, a double to left center, and then that error in left gives UPike 2 runs on the board, 2 quick runs on the board, I might add. Both of those coming off the first pitches of the at-bat. In the box now is number 3, Haley Carr. Carr does pop out to Barnett, but the damage has been done against the Tigers. They're needing to find a way to work themselves back as we go into the bottom of the 8th inning. UPike getting 2 runs off 2 hits, 1 error for Georgetown. Kind of gave way to that second run. Tigers needing to find a way in the bottom of the 8th to string together hits and come back from this one. Claypool still out on the mound for her 8th inning of work. She's well over 120 pitches so far in this ball game. We will be back here shortly, folks. Once again, you're watching softball here on the Tiger Sports Network on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, to the Tiger Softball Complex. 1-1 count, to Kaylyn Barnett at the plate. 3-1 in the ball game. University of Pikeville leading the Georgetown College Tigers. Claypool still in the circle. Generous call by home plate umpire right there. Barnett down the count now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Barnett, of course, having 2 of the 5 Tiger hits in this game. One of those hits being that home run to take the lead in the bottom of the 6th. But back-to-back innings, 1 run in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, have been given up by Georgetown. Barnett hits this one deep to center field. That ball is going to be well gone. Back-to-back home runs and back-to-back at-bats for Barnett. Tigers now within 1. Barnett having herself a day. 2 solo home runs and back-to-back at-bats. She has three hits total. She's 3 for 4 on the day. Tigers now within 1 by a score of 3-2. In the box, Maddie Sims to step up. I mean, you can imagine Claypool in the circle. She's thrown 145 pitches already on the day, 82 of those being strike, 2 of those going well over that center field fence by Barnett. Sims tries the same approach, being aggressive towards the softball, clips that one. It goes foul. She's down the count, no balls, 1 strike. For Barnett, that's pretty impressive, especially with the 1-2 count right there. As a pitcher in Claypool, you're trying to be a little bit more fine, but she's left that one over the plate. Maddie Sims hits that one hard over to second base. Klusner staying in front of it to get the first out.
Now batting the second baseman, number 13, Cassie Reynolds.
Cassie Randall is now getting ready to step in with 1 out. She's 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out, line out, and a hit by pitch. Like I said, Tigers needing to string together a handful of hits in this one. For Barnett.
Hit 7, hit by pitch. Oh, for Barnett. Sorry, I let you.
Reynolds now up 2 balls, no strikes. Good hitters count right here. She needs to find a way to get some outfield grass, get on base. A pitch left up and away. Count now 3-0. Claypool in the circle. 2 walks on the day already. Has given up 2 walks, I should say. 3-0 pitch. That one missing away. Randall's going to go ahead and trot down to first. Tigers now have runner at first base with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Andy Campbell
Now
step in the
batting
box.
number 11, the designated player, Campbell.
Campbell in the box. She's 1 for 3 on the day. Strikeout, hit, and a fly out to center field. That pitch missing, up and in. Count now 2-0. Randall's at first base, 5 for 7 in stolen base attempts this year, so she does have some speed. Coach Stagg's going to go have a conversation out with Claypool, as that's 6 straight balls given up to the Tiger hitters. So that conversation right there between Coach Staggs and his pitcher Claypool probably just about settling her down. I mean, she's done an excellent job so far through this game, with the exception of those two home runs to Barnett, which were solo home runs. Claypool has done an excellent job of really shutting down the Tiger hitters. Barnett just has Claypool's number on the day, and thankfully for UPike, the offense has picked them up the past couple innings. And Campbell swings through that one for strike number 2. Count out even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Claypool getting ready to deliver the 2-2 pitch. That ball fouled straight back into the netting by Campbell. Count remains the same, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Interesting to note for the Tiger offense in this one, they've had 6 runners, 6 of their leadoff hitters, I should say, reach base safely, but none of them have come around to score, which is a stark contrast to their games against Midway University, where in game one of that matchup right there, they scored in 4 innings, and their leadoff hitter got on 3 of those innings. So every time their leadoff hitter got on, they ended up scoring, where in this one it's just not the case at all. They're unable to string together hits and find ways to get on. Andy Campbell, however, will find the right field line right there. Tigers now have runners at first and second base. Andy Campbell with a handful of foul balls back towards the netting. As we talked about earlier in the game, she saw a pitch that she could hit, gets enough of it, ball finding the right field line.
Running at first, number 9, Peyton Rowe.
Number 9, Peyton Rowe, will go ahead and come in to run for Campbell. So with that pinch runner in Peyton Rowe over at first base, Andy Campbell's day will be done. She does finish with 2 hits, 2 big hits for the Tigers. Brooke Chick, the left fielder, now in with that pass ball. Wild pitch, right there. Tigers now have runners at second and third. Good chance right here to walk it off. In the batter's box is Brooke Chick. Bolin has been pretty good defensively in this game so far, but that one down in the dirt that just trickles away from her has given way to a couple free bases for the Tigers in a big spot here in the bottom of the 8th. Force at the plate. She's 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a pop-up to the catcher. Looking to find some outfield grass. Pops this one up and over the press box. Count now 1-2. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball. That one just drops down out of the plate. Chick with a good eye leaves that pitch down. So we have Reynolds at third, Rowe at second. Reynolds being the tying run and Rowe being the winning run, of course. Count now full on that pitch that misses down. Be kind of surprising right here if Claypool does end up walking Chick, to see if head coach Staggs will replace her. I mean, she's done excellent so far. To bring a new pitcher in this tight of a situation, Brooke Chick gets rung up on a pitch on the inner half for the second out. Won't have to worry about that situation with bases loaded. That pitch just good enough on the inner half. Brooke Chick thought it was inside. She was going to trot down to first gets rung up instead. So she'll have to head back to the dugout. West now at the plate. Tigers down to their final out. West 0 for 3 on the day, line out, and a pair of strikeouts to follow. The 0-0 pitch. That one misses down and away. Count now 1-0. Tigers need a hit or a wild pitch, pass ball to keep the game alive. Another pitch down and away. Pass ball, definitely an option as Claypool has been missing those pitches low, and with the batter's boxes having taken 8 innings, well, I guess 7 2/3 innings of abuse on both sides, there's definitely holes. So ball that gets short and ends up in one of those crevices where the batter stands could easily get away from the catcher bowling. West pops this one down the left field line. It does go foul, so the count now 2-1. It's a big game for the Tigers to win. They're coming off 2-game winning streak against Midway University on Tuesday, but 14 and 16th in the Mid-South. 12 and 14 in the Mid-South Conference, excuse me. They need a big win here. Claypool catching the corner for strike 2. Tigers now down to their final strike. Tiger hitters so far in this game have done an excellent job against Claypool with 2 strikes, fouling off pitches until they get something that they need, but West need to put something together. That one in on the hands. She gets enough of the bat on that one to foul it off. Count now 2-2. Claypool in the circle, 5 strikeouts on the day. So far, 112 on the year. Delivers the 2-2 pitch. That one missing. Down and away once again. Count now full. All 3 balls by Claypool have missed. Down and away to West. Oliver, the leadoff hitter for Georgetown, in the on-deck circle. The 3-2 pitch. That pitch misses up. West really working that way for her walk. Tigers now have leadoff hitter Oliver to the plate.
Number 10, Oliver.
For Georgetown, this is exactly who you want up in this situation right here. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tying run at third, winning run at second. Once again, Randall's at third, Rowe at second. Now West at first for Georgetown. West's run, of course, does not matter, but Rowe's run over at second does. Oliver taking that pitch for strike 1. Oliver, she's 1 for 2 on the day. She walked in her first 2 at-bats, grounded out to Claypool in her third, and then hit a double off the right center wall just last inning. So that 0-1 pitch right there, that popped up to the right side of the infield. Osborne trying to give chase, ends up falling back, but she does make the catch for the final out of the ball game. So that'll do it for the Tigers. They dropped this one by a score of 3-2 against the Bears of UPike. It's a tough game for the Tigers to lose right there. UPike has had a tough season so far. They've only had 4 wins, make that 5 now in the Mid-South Conference play, but they found a way to work it back. Claypool really keeping them in this matchup, and then an error, a walk, an error, a walk, a hit, and an error in the top of the 8th inning kind of gave way to 2 additional runs that really shouldn't have happened for UPike. But nevertheless, that'll do it here for game number 1. Once again, this is a doubleheader, folks, so do not go anywhere. But as mentioned, Tigers do drop this one by a score of 3-2 against the Bears of University of Pikeville. Tigers are now sitting at 20-17 overall, now 12-15 in Mid-South Conference play. This was the only game that you could watch for today. We do appreciate having you. But if you are here and you can watch game number 2, go ahead and stick around. We will be starting in about 20 to 30 minutes following the end of this game right here. So from everybody here at Georgetown College, my name is Ben Robison, and along with our wonderful Tiger Sports Network crew, here to bring you all the sights, sounds, and action from this game's matchup. That'll do it for game number 1. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere for game number 2. Once again, you're watching softball here on the Tiger Sports Network on Stretch.